Imagine it's a Saturday night. You're home alone, bored. But fortunately enough for you, the phone rings. And yeah, it's your best friend. Let's give him a name, Tony. And he's like, yo, bro, I'm bored as hell, man. We need to go to the club. And you're like, all right, yeah, man, let's go out there and let's see what's cracking. So you get in your car, turn the ignition and the key. You drive over and you go pick up Tony. So you guys are vibing to the music on the way to the club. You stand in the line, you get into the club. It's not too much stuff cracking at that moment until you see this one chick staring at you. And I mean, man, she's really staring at you. But you're kind of nervous, so you go to the bar, you get a drink, you turn back around, she's still staring at you. Tony tells you, hey man, go over there and talk to her, man. Let's see what's up. So you go over there, you introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Jordan, right? That's what you say, because you're stuttering, because you're just like glad to be there. And so, you know, you guys vibe, you buy her a drink, you get out there on the dance floor. Now, of course, you're dancing off beat. And but hey, it's all going good, you know, and you're dancing. Tony's on the side looking at you. He's excited for you. Then you give the girl a kiss.
I'm finna fucking with the shades on tonight. Wow, check me out though, look. Oh, damn.
Yeah, you just met her just 15 minutes ago, but you're all over each other on the club. Then she says, Daddy, I want you tonight. God damn. Ha! Where the Jimmy hat's at, right? So, you both kind of feeling yourselves. You tell Tony, hey, look, man, I'm gonna call you tomorrow because you know, they got me something tonight. So Tony like, yeah, it's no problem. I'm gonna catch the Uber back home. You drive off. You go to the house. Booty clapping sounds. It's all good. You know, you have a wonderful night together. Then the next day, you get a knock on the door. It's the police. Now, that sounds like a horror story from some sort of sick Hollywood film, but that is exactly what happened to Jordan Trengrove. You see, Jordan Trengrove was a young man in 2019 when that exact story happened to him. The lady he met at the club that night, her name was Eleanor Williams, and they had consensual sex. But what did she tell the police? She told the police that he AR'd her, then threatened her with a knife. Now, Mr. Jordan Trengrove, after being arrested, somebody painted something really nasty on the side of his house. Let's just say it started with R and ended with T. He spent a total of 73 days in prison. Now, I'm gonna give you another story if that one isn't sick enough. But let's say you have a business and you have an employee. Don't really talk to the employee, but you have a lady that works for you. Something happens, she don't work for you anymore. Well, what does she go to the police and say? She tells the police, you have been grooming her from the age of 12 and you take her to work in brothels in a place like Las Vegas or a place like Amsterdam or a place like the Dominican Republic. All of this is false, of course, but nobody cares. You have received countless death threats on social media because of it. But now it happens to third person, all within 3 years. But this time, she posts these photos on social media. We can't even post them because they're that bad. Acting as if somebody beat her. But the reality is, she took a hammer and did this to herself. Now, for these guys, all three of them tried to take their own life after being targeted and suffering hell on earth. The other person I just mentioned, the employer, Mohammed Ramzan, almost got killed himself. And these grooming lies that were told about these men destroyed their business, destroyed their family, and all of this. Yeah. And you know what the lady has to say? In so many words, I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't have any significant sign of remorse or no explanation why I would do it. She said, you know, if I knew it was going to cause this much outrage, I wouldn't have done it. But see, that's not what the courts said. You know, she has been jailed, okay, she will face a jail cell for 8.5 years for perverting the law. And it's good to see in the Western world that, you know, something is happening to ladies like this. Now, she also said that people attacked her with hammers and stuff like this. But if you see the CCTV footage right here, this footage of the hammer, yeah, you can see that she's buying the hammer her damn self. All to do what? To lie. Now, let me just say this. This is a weird case because these men she didn't know, okay? But the question remains, what about the men that these things happen to that people do know? Because the average person wouldn't go to these lengths to just create these narratives to destroy somebody's life. Obviously, this lady is very sick. But what happens when you want to divorce your wife? You know, you and your wife are not getting along or something like that, your girlfriend, and you've been in situations where, let's say, for example, you're arguing with your girlfriend and you want to leave. What does she do? She blocks the door. Sad music. Oh, you ain't finna leave here tonight. You gonna talk to me? You're like, look, I gotta go. You may even have to go to work. Oh, you ain't gonna go to work today till you talk to me. I gotta go. If you try to remove her, guess what happens? Calls the police. She says you hit her. And sometimes she can go into the kitchen or go somewhere, hit herself and say that you did it. And even if it's not true, the public believes that it's true. And that's what happened to this principal in Orange County. You know, you had this principal where his wife was saying that, you know, she actually did something to him. And, you know, he committed suicide at in Disneyland, right? This was Christopher Christensen. He was the principal of Huntington Beach, California. You know, he's a guy and he wanted to end the toxic marriage. His wife was not telling the truth. She admitted that she didn't tell the truth. But you know what? Once those false allegations came out about the guy, he said, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. So he jumped to his death. That's what he did. And that's what happens to a lot of men. People don't understand that men are people too. And when you put out false allegations about guys like that, they know that nobody's going to believe them. What did Michael Irvin just say? Michael Irvin said, if it wasn't for the footage at the hotel, nobody would believe me. And guess what? Even with seeing the same thing that we're seeing on TV, there will be people in blind sight and they can see it in broad daylight that it will still not believe Michael Irvin. And these are the things that's happening to men. It's very sad. It's not cool. It's not great. But you know what? These are the things that happens, guys. And I want you all to be very cautious. I want you all to be very safe because, hey, the world, unfortunately, has some bad people out there. And I think for your own safety, you should be aware of it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.